want you to concentrate on a number 1, 2, or 3. Concentrate on a number 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so what's keeping you apart? What's keeping you away from them? What's blocking you from them? Okay, message number 1. Message number 1, they feel very held back and they feel very cautious over their money. Princess of Pentacles reversed. They want to release a burden that they've been carrying, probably regarding money. 10 of Wands reversed, but they feel very out of balance. Justice reversed. They've lost strength. I think that there's a very strong, with number 1, I think there's a very strong fixation on money with this person. They've lost money recently, or they fear losing money. They're very concerned, number 1, that maybe you're after their money. Now, personal opinions aside, I personally don't think it's bad to go after somebody's money, because people go after sex all day, every day, and that's perfectly okay, and nobody says anything about that. But personal opinion aside, this is how this person fears. They fear that you're all about just the money. Either that, or they're fearing losing their money just for another reason, and this is making them feel unstable in relationships. So even if they don't care that you'd be all about the money, they're still fearful of money because they feel like they can't be in a relationship when their financial future isn't set, or they can't focus on anything else when their financial future isn't set. Princess of Pentacles, it's like they're losing money. They're not getting the good news that they had hoped. They're losing confidence and strength in themselves because of this. They could be male or female. Particularly if they're male, though, a lot of men place their identity on their money and their ability to gain money. And so they feel like they're not enough of a man or enough of a person without the money, and it's making them lose self-confidence and strength and lose balance. And maybe they're going through something negative legally. They could also be getting a divorce from somebody, and this divorce that they're going through had them lose money. They're really wanting to relieve a burden that they've been carrying so long. 10 of Wands reversed. But until they relieve that burden, both emotional and financial, they're going to keep you at bay. Either that, or what's keeping them from you, as I said, is they feel like you're too fixated on money and career. And they feel like you have too much legal baggage, okay? And that they don't feel confident to have a relationship with you because they see that you would overburden them, and they feel like they just released this burden. So they're concerned about that. Like, I get this strong sense that it has to do with legal and money. So whether they're going through something legal or you are, what's holding them from you, what's keeping them from you, is the fear of you adding more burden onto their life, or more fixation on finances, or you know, stressing them out. I'm not saying you would, but that's what they feel. Or they just feel like they don't have it together enough to be with you, and that's knocked off their self-confidence and strength. So Spirit would just say to advise to be, if you can, be patient with them, be supportive. I wouldn't tell you, if you are concerned about financial security, I would never tell somebody to act like you're not concerned about it. If that's your need, that's your need. No judgment, you know? Like I said, a lot of people in society, it's acceptable to say you want sex, you want this, and we know there's one gender, not that it's the only gender, but one gender in particular that seems to fixate on sex, where it's okay for certain people to place sex on a pedestal. So why not place the financial security of your partner on a pedestal? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But if this person isn't going to be able to give you what you need, do you want to wait around and say, pick me, you know, please pick me? Or do you want to just throw in the towel and go pursue what it is that's really going to fulfill you? That's up to you to decide, number 1. Thanks for watching. If you'd like your own reading, go to naomitarot.com. For any questions, email naomitarot1199@gmail.com. If you chose message number 2, what's keeping them from you? What's keeping them from you is indecision. So they're very, maybe there's another party, maybe there's a third party associated with this. If not, they're just indecisive about going towards you. Chariot reverse, they fear going towards you, and they're indecisive about it. They're very indecisive. They might be a Libra. If they're not a Libra, they could be a Cancer. If they're not a Cancer, they could be any other sign with that kind of energy of indecision. Those two signs tend to be indecisive. They really do care about you, number 2, 2 of Cups, but they fear you trapping them, okay? 7 of Swords. They really fear you trapping them. They fear that being with you is going to suffocate them. I'm not saying that you do that, but they fear that you're going to suffocate them, you're going to overwhelm them. Even though they care about you so much, they're just hanging out here, kind of taking you for granted a little bit and not going forward because you've been so loving and so supportive of them. They are taking you for granted a little bit. So if you're not fully committed with them, it might be a good idea to say, you know, you want to see other people, or if you don't want to see other people, that keep yourself busy, you know, don't always be available to them because they do really love this support, but at the same time, they feel smothered by it. It's like they're taking advantage of it and they like it, but they feel smothered by it. And they're keeping you at bay, like in the hanged man, like waiting around for them. And they're not going forward because, again, they're kind of taking your love for granted and all you've given them for granted. So, you know, to shake things up, you could say you're seeing other people if you really want to do that. I wouldn't suggest that if you don't really want to do that. And if not, just become busier. Don't always be available to them. And it's not playing a game, it's setting a boundary and saying, my time is valuable too. You know, my I'm valuable too. I'm worthy and I deserve full attention. I don't deserve to be, you know, in this hanged man situation with somebody who doesn't want to fully go forward with me. You know, I deserve all the love and support that you could give to me, that I give to you, you know. And if you feel like you're going to be trapped and smothered by me, then goodbye. Like, then you don't accept all the love I have to give, and you don't accept this 2 of Cups, you know. If you don't want to accept it and you're going to feel smothered, then go your merry way, chariot away, you know, chariot away. Don't act like you're afraid to go forward with me and then keep me here like on the back burner. This is very back burner energy I'm getting, okay? Number 2, back burner energy. Nobody wants to feel like somebody's just not that into them or is using them as a backup. You know, if it doesn't work out with Katie, I'll go back to, you know, Jessica, or if it doesn't work out with Mark, I'll go back to, you know, Dan. Whatever, if it's male or female, it doesn't matter what gender. It could be male or female you're dealing with. But this person is kind of like keeping you on the back burner, and you need to do something to shake things up to show them that they could lose you. Okay? Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like your own reading, go to naomitarot.com. For any questions, email naomitarot1199@gmail.com. If you chose message number 3, what is keeping you guys apart? What's keeping them from you? What's keeping them from going forward? What's holding them back? What's holding them back is they've experienced a loss. Okay, so maybe they walked out of a relationship fairly recently, death card and loss. And I see 2 women surrounding them actually. Either that, or this can just talk about the lack of planning, the lack of passion and going forward with you. But I think that this talks about 2 women or 2 younger men, regardless of who you date. 2 individuals, a fire sign and an air sign, if not a fire sign and air sign, just somebody who's more brash and confident and passionate and in your face, and somebody who's more cerebral, in the mind, intellectual. These 2 individuals. It doesn't have to be fire and air signs. It could just be the qualities of them, okay? I don't want people on my channel to get fixated on signs because signs isn't everything. You know, they are archetypal symbolism for the way people act, even though I'm pretty good at guessing them. So there's 2 people involved in the situation. One is you, one is another person. And this person is experiencing an ending and it's still reflecting on the loss. Maybe number 3, this person's kind of on the rebound, okay? They are experiencing the loss of somebody else while they're talking to you still. And if this isn't romantic, they are just unable to move forward with you or progress with you in any kind of relationship with you if it's not romantic, because somebody else from the past who betrayed them is holding them back. Okay, somebody betrayed them, and so they see both of you in the negative light because they're projecting what this other person did, whoever they are, whether it's the Princess of Wands or Page of Wands or Princess of Swords or Page of Swords, regardless of gender. Somebody did something to this person to cause this very tearful, very upsetting loss, right? They're reflecting on it still because it's upright. And it was an ending that occurred, whether it's like a good friend that you have, or an acquaintance, or a coworker, or this is a love interest, which most likely it's love. They're projecting whichever one you are, swords or wands, whichever one you fall into, the passionate one or the cerebral intellectual one or the confident one or the one who's in the mind, you know, the one who's in the mind. They're projecting whatever this person did wrong onto you, and they're seeing you in a negative light too, because they cannot get over this loss. They're most likely rebounding, and they're kind of feeling sorry for themselves. So you can either give them the time and space to heal or say forget it and move on. I mean, it's really up to you, number 3. If you want to give them time and space, or you think they're worth the wait. Because if you do give them that space, I do see them coming around, because I see that they've accepted that this is over between somebody else and them, but they need to be given a chance to come towards you, to come at you, to say, okay, now I'm ready, in their own time. So you have to decide whether or not you're going to be patient to wait for that. All right, thanks so much. If you'd like your own reading, go to naomitarot.com. For any questions, email naomitarot1199@gmail.com.